being here today. We gather here tonight to present the annual Lifetime Achievement Award to Mr. Franklin C. Stephenson. This award is typically given each year at the annual banquet. The Lifetime Achievement Award is given to an individual who is either associated with the funeral business or in the funeral industry. The person selected is an individual that has shown dedication and exemplified the morals and ethics of funeral service, striving to make our industry better. If you look in the dictionary, you find the word achievement. It states, a thing successfully done, typically by extra effort, courage, and skill. I believe this year that our recipient, Steve, has achieved this level. Steve is a third-generation funeral director, having been licensed for over 52 years. His grandfather started the business, Stephenson and Son Funeral Home in Avon, in 1904. His father joined the business after World War I. Never mind that.
So much for the plaque.
Yeah. Steve's father joined the firm, and while Steve was in high school as a sophomore, he helped his father on removals, ambulance calls, and home funerals. I often ask him where he parked the horse. Steve learned early on what it was like to help families at a time of loss. After a short stint in the Army, he received his license and purchased the business in 1962. He married Carol, his wife, and they had 3 beautiful children. Later in his career, he acquired an associate, and the Stephenson Doherty Funeral Home was formed, where he stayed until his retirement in 1991. For a number of years, he was president of a corporation operating 6 funeral homes in the Livingston and Ontario counties. While in his early years in funeral service, Steve developed an interest in public speaking. It wasn't until after taking a life appreciation course that there was a shift in his thinking about funeral service. Now, it was more important that a funeral director have some ability to deal with the emotions of a grieving family. It just wasn't enough to be known that he was a good funeral director and ran a great funeral. Public speaking soon played a big part in Steve's professional career. He developed 8 topics which he spoke on regularly. 3 of the most popular being how to talk to my children about death, grief and how it affects us, and defining the funeral. Over the years, it is estimated that Steve presented over 108 programs to various organizations, including hospice houses, death and dying classes, and hospital staff. For several years, he was asked to talk to interns and nurses at the Highland Hospital for their preparation into their careers. He was also asked to speak on 2 occasions to talk to our local high school because that class had lost a classmate in a tragic death. Steve presently is a member of the Avon Rotary Club, and he presently sells real estate, and will be handing out business cards this week. At times, he has organized many trips for the old guys in the community that have gone out to the Midwest and abroad, and some of them who are here tonight. I know personally that Steve has counseled many people in our community who have had a tragic death in their family, and he is profoundly proud to help those individuals in their grief process. Families even now ask if Stevie is around and seek his compassion and wisdom. I am proud to say that even though I kid him regularly, I look up to him as a friend, a colleague, and a mentor. I admire his ability to help people in our community, and I have in the past sought his wisdom on occasion. I feel that I am a better person knowing him, and that if I can acquire half the respect that others had for him, that I myself will be a better funeral director. Steve, would you please come forward? It is my profound pleasure to offer this to Steve, the Lifetime Achievement Award of 2014 to Franklin M. Stephenson for his dedication to the funeral service profession from the officers and board of directors and membership of the Rochester Genesee Valley Funeral Directors. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. It truly is a great honor for me. I think maybe as much as anything, a small-town funeral director being recognized this way is pretty special. But I must confess to you that sitting there, I'm a bit confused by it all because it seems at one point I'm listening to my obituary. And then 2 or 3 minutes later, I'm up here receiving an award. I'm not sure how I came back so quickly, but apparently I did. And I want to thank some folks from Avon that are here, my former partner, Jerry Doherty, and his wife, Kim. And some other folks from Avon that are special friends that are here. Quite frankly, there'd be a lot more from Avon here if they knew I were wearing shorts tonight, but the word got out that I was going to be dressed up, so I guess they decided not to come. But I also want to thank family. I have family way in the back sitting. I appreciate their being here. It seems characteristic, I think, when you get an award to thank family, and I want to do that, but from a different approach. I don't need to tell the rest of you that growing up in the funeral business is not always the easiest kind of life. When the phone rings at 3 in the morning, your wife wakes up the same time you are with the same jarring noise. I don't know whether we always thank them for their understanding on that. Certainly there are functions at school that are missed. I can think of a couple of Christmases where gifts weren't opened until I came back from a removal. So it isn't always an easy family kind of life to grow up in, and I appreciate the understanding, and I'm assuming they did understand. I'm looking for some shaking. I think they did. I think they understood it was part of the funeral director's life. So I thank you for that. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't challenge the rest of you in some way to, I know not everybody's comfortable in public speaking, but try it if you have the opportunity. I think it does project yourself out in the community as someone who is concerned about something beyond just running a smooth funeral. But it also has educational value. I think today with fewer full-service funerals, I think it's important to be out there and letting people know that there is real benefit to a grieving person to go through the funeral process. And I don't think funeral directors in general, I mean, I'm talking about national, not just local, have done that. I think it's important that we work at that. So I thank you for all of that and for this particular honor. Thank you.